Hello, this is Mr. Stansbury. I'm going to finish off the 16I notes on equations involving sine and cosine. So we're going to use technology to find when sine of x equals negative 0.325. All right, we already did example A. Now we're going to do B and C. So with the graphing calculator, we can just, again, put in sine of x for one graph and then negative 0.325 for the other graph, and that's just y equals negative 0.325. So that's just going to make our nice little horizontal line, and away we go. So our graph should look nice and pretty like that. There's a sine graph, and then here's the negative 0.325. So we just want to find out these 2 points of intersection. So we do second, calculate, intersect, and let's see, we'll push enter, enter, and enter, and it gives us the intersection of 198.96. So let's call that 190. Let's call that 199. Oops. Right. So let's see. This is the intersection is 199 degrees. All right. Now we also want to find that other intersection point. So second, calculate, intersect. Over as long as it's at least somewhere in the neighborhood, enter, enter, and then enter again, and it will find the other one, which is about 341 degrees. All right, so there's the two answers. And again, you can do this without a graphing calculator by finding where we're looking for an angle, and whenever you're looking for an angle, we do second sine of negative 0.325. And that gives us negative 18.96. So we'll call that negative 19 degrees. Okay, so we get negative 19 degrees. Now, what that means is here's our sine curve, and they're saying back here at negative 19 degrees is where it hits, where it's negative 0.325. Now we don't want that. We want from 0 to 360. So nice part about that is that this 360 degrees, basically if you go back 19 degrees there as well, that's where it's going to hit. Okay, so basically just take 360 degrees minus 19 degrees, and that's going to give us our 341 degrees. There's our first one, okay, because again it's at, basically it's at 360 minus 19, 360 minus 19. Okay, we also know that this here is 180 degrees, and then this distance from here to here is also going to be 19 degrees. So we can do 180 plus 19, and that's where we get our 199 degrees. All right, okay, so that is B. Let's take a little video break, and then we'll take a look at C.
But abstract art, who decides if that's good or not? Like Picasso, he puts two eyes on the same side of the face. And if I were judging, I'd have to take points off. Pablo, look around. Does anyone have two eyes on the same side of the face? No, hence the low score. And people say, well, that's just it, Brian. He sees things differently. Well, then he shouldn't be painting. Might want to give him a camera because he's not even close on these images.
All right. So let's take a look at one more example, and that is C. Sine of x over 2 equals 0.421. So same thing, we can do this on the calculator. Let's see, we're going to do stat plot. So now instead of sine of x, we want to do sine of x over 2. Sine of x divided by 2. Close the parentheses just to make sure. And then we have 0.421. All right, so we go to graph that, and then notice, ooh, look, this is our graph. That's from 0 to 360 still, but it's only half the graph because of the x over 2. Because you could rewrite this as sine of 1/2 x equals 0.421. And remember, to find the period, you do 360 divided by whatever the b is. So 360 divided by a half is the same thing as 360 times 2, which is 720 degrees. So if we have a graph, this here we know is 720 degrees. This is 360 degrees. That's why we're only seeing this part on the graph. Okay, and then here's our 0.421. So we're looking for those 2 spots there. Okay, so with this, second calculate, intersect. I'm going to scroll back over here so I'm at least close-ish to that one. Enter 2 lines, estimates 49.8. So the first one is at 49.8 degrees. And then the second one, I'm going to go over here. Again, as long as we're closer to this side than the other side, it should work. And there it is, 310.2. Okay, so by calculator, that's those 2. Now, by finding the graphs, so if we're going to do it without that, we're going to still do second sine of 0.421, and that gives us 24.9. But that is x over 2, not just plain old x. So we'd have to multiply both sides by 2. And we multiply 24.9 by 2, and we magically get 49.8. Right? And then to find the other one here, since, again, here's our little picture of our graph, we know that this is 49.2, so that this distance from 360 back to this one is also 49.2. So we do, to find the other one, 360 minus 49.2, and we get 310.2. Sorry, minus 49.8. So then we get 310.2 degrees, and that is the other one. And that's how to do it without the graphing calculator. All right. You should now be able to say I can use a sine or cosine graph to find solutions. If you have any questions, please ask. Thanks.